We are on. That's what they tell me. Got to give the people. Let's see. If you're trying to get us on Facebook, it's Power to the People Show on Facebook. Start this little watch party right quick. How's everybody doing? If I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. So, hey, Carolyn Lane coming on in. Oh, y'all coming in.
Oh, your mom is on.
I know. My mother's on Facebook.
Got to be
Hey,
careful.
Ray Sean, where's my little phone thing? Let me have that little phone thing.
This one.
What's up, everybody? It is a couple days. You ain't got to hide out the shot. They know you're here. Feds ain't looking for you.
Well,
It's a couple days. Uh-oh, just messed up. Oh, I'm back. Before Thanksgiving, and this country is out of control. Where my head's at?
behind you.
Where is it? Right here. I was eating when we went on the air. Because I'm trying to lose this COVID stomach. So I'm not even going to say because everybody's going to be, it's too much salt in that. I got low blood pressure. But I've been eating much more healthy. Hey, Stephanie, Sarita's on, Netta is on. I've been eating a lot more healthy. But speaking of health, stuff is still, where am I getting an echo?
Oh, you're probably hearing the TV.
Oh, stuff is still out of control with this COVID. I want to hear from some of you, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving? And you could be honest. If you're still going to gather, just say it. Nobody's coming to you. Nobody ain't counting, according to the sheriff. They ain't counting cars outside. But city is shutting down again by order of the governor. We are in orange, so everybody's trying to get their hair done today. Get your hair cut today. But you know what? I really feel for the barbers,
Yes.
for the beauticians, that this is their job. Can they get unemployment?
Yes.
They can get
If
unemployment.
their paperwork's together.
But and here's the key. Some of their paperwork is not together. So they then can't collect unemployment. Mm-hmm. And my heart goes out to them because one of the most stable jobs in the inner city for craftsmen like that are haircuts. That's one of the only thing that black people ain't went away from. They ain't going out to what's the something Sam's or whatever to get their haircut. They going, huh?
Supercut.
Yeah, they ain't going. Not many of them going to that. They're gonna go to an inner city barbershop.
And I'll tell you, I was very surprised. The last time I was in the chair, my barber said that when they shut down the first time, he actually had clients that still came in and paid him even though they weren't getting a haircut.
Wow.
Because they said, I'm paying for my time and I know you still got a family to feed.
Wow, that's big. That's
Yeah.
big. So to all of you who are, hey Dorothy, all of you who are hairdressers, the eyelashes, the nails, the haircuts, that's important in our community. I mean, and especially with Thanksgiving coming up. But just remember your barber, remember your beautician, and during Christmas when I was a mail carrier, people would leave you a little envelope for Christmas. And really, this is the time, if you're still working and you have an income, that you may want to bless somebody else. I taught about that last night. Just bless somebody else, because they have families to feed too. We expect them to be there for us. And I think this is a time when we should be there for them. And someone say, well, they're not first responders. Well, for some people, they are first responders.
Oh, absolutely.
I done seen some of your hair.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I think that this is important. My heart goes out to people. Every organization sees financial changes, including churches. We're closed again. Basically, we'll be virtual. I ain't thrilled about going virtual. The people want to be together, but I'm going to tell you this, and I said it last week before we went to Orange. We got to do what we got to do. Now, I could actually open our Niagara Falls location because Niagara Falls, although technically an orange. It's not an orange because of something about Lockport and blah, blah, blah. We considered doing that, and then I decided that's probably not the most wise thing to do if what we're talking about is saving lives. So I don't want to bring a couple hundred people out to Niagara Falls Church and then anything happen, and I would feel horrible. So this is just a season. My mom's birthday was yesterday. Big shout out to her.
Shout out,
Happy
Mama.
birthday. We went over we would be over normally. Everybody would be over. There were 8 of us. My father was counting 1, 2, 3, 4. He said, because if 2 more people come, somebody got to leave. But we went over only for a short time and kept our masks on in the house, wished her a happy birthday, blew out the candle, and left. And she enjoyed her birthday. The people had to call. She had visitors, but she talked to them through the door. And, that's the changes that we have to make right now in this season. As you know, funerals, the funeral home, I think, because one of the funeral homes sent me a letter that they received from the Funeral Association, I think 10. Of course, the church is limited to 30. We have another, unfortunately, next week, homicide, someone who was killed. Service next week, and I can only have 25 people in the sanctuary. There'll be a walkthrough viewing and then 25 people in the sanctuary. And that's unfortunate because of this situation and how hurt this family is. Like all families who lose a loved one, but that's where we're at. But
And cemeteries too are back to their
cemeteries are back. Cemeteries are back to their restriction. Got to get a little of this chicken parmesan. It's Weight Watchers. I'm getting rid of the stomach.
Do what you got to do, sir.
I got to do. You know how you're sitting there, you really want something, but you really don't. I know. Yep. Little Weight Watchers. Because I'm going to lose this weight. So cemeteries are back.
Yes.
So I came up with this idea, inspired, I believe, of the Lord, to do PSAs on this station with funeral homes, the owners of the funeral homes, our local funeral homes. Called Sheila. She was like, ecstatic, let's do it. Like, she didn't even breathe in, basically, when I called her with the idea. So we are not only doing PSAs, going to be doing PSAs, and if you don't listen to anybody else, you ought to listen to these people who will end up burying our loved ones. Mm-hmm. And so we took it a step further, and you all have been out recording them, the video.
Yes.
And that's going to start going around social media, and I want those of you who like to share memes and share garbage, share this. Share this. Because the memes usually are not true, and all it is a good laugh. We got to stop just wanting to be entertained and start wanting to be informed. Come on, preach. We need to use some of these mediums to be informed. So once, when do you think you're going to get the...
I am going to try to have it ready for Sunday.
Okay. I know you got a lot.
Yeah, we still got one more to go, and then we'll try to have it up by Sunday.
Mm-hmm. So once it's up, we'll put it out there. Please share it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'm hungry.
I hope you
As my son says. As my son says, I'm hungry. I hate when my kids say this. I'm hungry. I'll be like, stop talking like that. I'm hungry, Papa. They don't like this kind of teaching. So share this because this is in cooperation, of course, with this station. And we want to hear the funeral homes. So we have... got all of them except our sponsor. We still chasing down our sponsor. He's been so busy. So I'm going to find him at a funeral today. He's just going to have to come out by the hearse. Because listen, folks, people just still not listening. We talked about this last week. Yep. I know you might not want to talk about it this week, but I'm going to keep talking about it until we either have a vaccine or until the numbers go down. We are higher than we have ever been. So let me get to the point. I get a call from a friend of mine, and they asked me a question that I thought I knew the answer to. They were in a grocery store this week. After we know we're going into orange, after we know that we are burying people, they're in a grocery store in the city of Buffalo. And there are several persons, and I asked them to come on air. They want to remain anonymous, but they wanted this to be addressed. They're in the city. There are, I think, 3 men walking around with camouflage jackets on, and they have no mask. And they're talking. It's not like they're walking around, they're being silent. They're talking. They're picking up items like you do in the grocery store, touching the produce, putting it back down, no mask. The person goes to the store manager and says, there are these guys in here without a mask, and they're around elderly people. And now, there's a lot of people in the store right now. They're trying to prepare to be stuck in the house again and get ready for Thanksgiving. The manager says, allegedly, we can offer them a mask, but we don't force anybody to wear a mask by store policy. The person asked me, is that true? And I'm like, no, they have to. I was under the impression they had to. And they said, no. So they called a TV station. They were waiting for a TV station. When they called me, I said, did you call corporate of the store? And they said no. So I said, well, when you call them, call me back. I'm interested. They call corporate. Corporate says, no, first they call Erie County, some line. Mm-hmm. And the person allegedly from Erie County says, basically, ma'am, this virus is spread. It's not just from touching stuff. And the person said the person from the county wasn't that kind, and they couldn't get them to pay attention. So they call corporate, allegedly. And allegedly, corporate says, well, they said the corporate office was very, very nice, but they said we don't force people to wear. Some people can't wear it because of health reasons, yada, yada, yada. So this store allegedly has up on when you walk in, that masks are required, but they don't enforce that requirement. The person called University District Council Member Rashid N.C. Wyatt also. And so now he's involved. I don't know if anybody else knows that out there, that there is a grocery store. Now, I know this. I have gone to Tops on Harlem Road. Is it Harlem over by you? There was a security guard there. Mm-hmm. And I was putting it on, but they would not, now I don't know if they're still there. They would not let you in. I know the Tops on Jefferson.
The Tops on, what is that? South Park was the same way.
So I didn't know. I mean, is it a store, individual stores? Because to me, and I'm going to tell you, I was going to that store for something. I'm not going there. And I've had it, and I've got the antibody. But I think we have to send out a clear message that if you're not going to enforce this, I'm not giving you my money. Because if my mom is in here or other people who have not had it, my dad, my aunts, then you're creating an atmosphere, allowing an atmosphere where people don't have to wear these masks.
Absolutely.
I'm not going. I ain't mad at you, but I do feel a responsibility for people to know. So we're going to get Rashid N.C. Wyatt on the phone, and then we are going to make another phone call without putting the company on the air, but we're just going to ask them off air. What is their policy so we know? But people need to know. People need to know so that they can make a life choice. Because I'll tell you this, if I know, if I got to go to a funeral and I got to go to a certain church or any church and they're not wearing masks, I'm walking out. I'm not staying in that place. And if a store decides that their policy is, we'll advertise it, but we're not going to enforce it and we're not going to do anything about it, then I think the general public has a right to know so that they can make the right choices. Now, we live in reckless out here right now. This is reckless. This is reckless. Rashid, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, talk to us about what you learned, so I can see if it's the same thing that I learned this week.
Okay, I was contacted by someone who was a very reliable source, that they went into a local Wegmans and they saw a number of individuals walking through the store without masks. So they went to the management and told them that, hey, there are a couple of individuals walking through without a mask. And I guess the manager says, well, they can't mandate them to have a mask on. So she also contacted the corporate office, and they said the same thing, that they could not mandate them to wear a mask.
Well, here's the crazy part, council member. We've seen videos of stores who say, I'm not serving you without a mask.
Exactly. And so I'm a little baffled because I've gone in Wegmans and I see on the store says you must wear a mask to enter. So how do 4 individuals get in there without a mask and they're okay to walk through? And then to add, I guess, maybe insult to injury, there was a call placed to Erie County to the customers, their emergency hotline, and they notified them of the situation. And they didn't seem to take it as seriously as what our county executive is presenting to us. So I did have a conversation with our chairwoman who was a little bit perturbed behind it and said that she would address it because that's not the message that we're trying to send. And I think Mr. County Executive has sent a very clear message about how serious this is, and especially now us being in Orange, that everyone must take this seriously. So I'm hopeful that they will be able to address it and have that Wegmans talk to.
But it's not just that one from what we're hearing.
You just can't have people walking through and thinking it's okay because it's not a law. People are dying, and I know the numbers are continuing to uptick. And we just want to make sure the message is clear for everyone, every store, deli store, a major chain, that this is not something that we're going to allow.
But I would think a store would just be responsible. And if you're going to advertise it at your door, and if a person says they can't wear masks, this is my feeling. If you can't wear a mask for health reasons, right, whatever it is, then stay out of public places. You can have your groceries delivered now. Have your groceries delivered. I got it if you can't wear a mask. Some people really cannot tolerate a mask, especially those who already have breathing issues. And now you put a mask on top of that, it can become very difficult. But in order for us to get out of this pandemic, then that must mean you must change your behavior. But how do we know if now we get 50 people who just walk in the store and go, I got a health issue? They don't have to prove it. And even if you do, you can still carry the virus. That's what I'm not getting.
And it's just unfortunate, even like I said, the response that we got from the help line or the emergency line. I'm sure the county executive wouldn't be pleased to hear that that's the kind of information that was given to them, that, you can't mandate it. It's not a law. That's not the message. The message is that people are dying every day. This infection is getting an uptick that we all expected because it was told to us. But some people aren't taking it seriously, and it's not being taken seriously because you go into a store like a Wegmans, which none of us would think that would happen at a Wegmans. Wegmans is one of the premier organizations in our country. And for them to not take this as seriously, especially where we're in the midst of this uptick, is really sad. But I'm hopeful that the chairwoman, April Baskins, will address it and get them addressed as well.
Now, and some people might say, well, why y'all not doing anything about it? Let me answer it already. The county is the one in charge of health. The county. So that is April. That is what April does. However, we're involved. I got involved. You got involved. So we didn't just say, oh, we're going to throw it to April. We're making the public aware right now. In a few minutes, we are not going to put Wegmans on the phone without their permission. But we're going to have somebody in the studio call to ask so that we're not just talking about allegedly. We want to know, do you have can I come into Wegmans without a mask? Period. And if the answer is yes, no indictment on Wegmans, it's just public information so that the public is aware, because I'm not going in.
And like you said, there's so many ways that you can get your groceries without going into the store with your mask on, if that's the situation. They have a number of aisles or number of parking spaces for you to have your groceries brought to you.
Yep,
you
exactly.
pull up and they can just sit in your car. But these individuals who I won't characterize them inappropriately because I didn't see them, but they seem to not think that this is important and they can just do whatever they want, like some people that we have seen on the national news.
Well, I think that that's a part of the problem right now. I think that people are trying to make this a political issue. And so what we thought is that, you know, the people who didn't think masks were important are all in the South somewhere, you know, but obviously we got some right around here who want to make a point. And I believe it, to my heart, it was to make a point. This is just not that time, man. You, like you said, you could pull up and they will put your groceries in the trunk. You can order and they will drop them off. You can do a lot of things if you're going to be in public. You can't go to the doctor's office without not my doctor. I couldn't go to the dentist without a mask on, and they told you before you came, can't go to the doctor without a mask on. So even though it may not be a quote unquote law, why then are we fining this is where I'm lost. Why are we fining restaurants if you don't have it on? But people can go into a grocery store, not have it on, and seemingly nothing is happening. You can't go into a church without it. You can't go into a gym without it. You can't go on an airplane without it. And if you are talking about the grocery store being an essential service, which it is, and you're trying to slow this thing down, and you can't go to the restaurant now no more, right? I mean, it's closed except to pick up food, right? There's no more okay. We still can go in grocery stores. So which means this is a vulnerable place. And you have a lot of elderly going in the grocery store. You have a lot.
And, you know, we do have a lot of people that, like I've seen, I've not seen very many people not wearing a mask. I know that it's happening. I know that even in some of our neighborhoods, people are having these house parties in which this spread is happening. I know that a hotel that I frequent is
don't say that you frequent. That sound
like that.
Hey, council member, don't say the hotel that you frequent. It don't sound right.
Well, not that I frequent, that I
you consult with.
Time work at.
Yeah, because he frequent that hotel.
They have these parties that, unfortunately, and a lot of times it's us, and it just bothers me because the infection in the 14215 is uptick, and we just got to take this seriously because we are the ones with a lot of the underlying issues that affect us. A majority of times so we really need to take this seriously. Hopefully there is light at the end of the tunnel, but we got to get to it.
Exactly. Because some are not going to get to it.
Yeah.
They're not going to live through it. Councilmember White, I'm going to get ready to let you go. Hey, we got a big vote this week on the speed cams. Not perfect, but better than, in my opinion, what it was. And now schools are closed.
Yeah, I thank you for your assistance on this, Council President. I mean, we did something that, again, it wasn't perfect, but I think it did serve the public. I mean, the people in the community were very happy because we got people who have gotten 6, not just 1 or 2 tickets. How about 7 or 8 tickets? And that's not why the legislation was put forward. That wasn't our intent when we put this out in March. Our intent was to make our school zones safe for our children, not for the money. And so it just ended up being that way, unfortunately, but not from our standpoint. But I think there's a lot of people out there who are happy, who felt that this was appropriate.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to say, oh, we don't care about a school zone and your babies there. And, and I know some people say, well, we should just overturn it. But no, I don't want one child to be harmed and then we react to that.
Yeah.
We want to make our children safe from the get. And so for the 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, and maybe some other things that council member deems it's important for a large crowd of activities for children after hours, they can make that happen. But for the majority of folks, 7:30 to 9:30, 2:30 to 4:30, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I made a decision, and of course, the way the legislation is written is, I've said over and over, I'm not thrilled that we have to have that legislation, but what I am glad about is that we worked out something. And at the end of the day, I know for schools in the Ellicott District, and I said it, if you are, because I think some schools will just ask for every day, you know, we got a child that's got to go outside and pick up leaves. Can you turn on the cameras? No.
Right.
If you have mass amount of children on the outside of the school, you got you're having a field day, which is outside. You're having a winter fun day. Yes. If you have an enclosed parking lot and your children are going to the Buffalo Zoo or News on a bus, and they don't have to come out to the street, and they're going. I'm not going to say just turn on the camera for that. I think we have to be sensible about it. And no matter what you do, I tell people, no matter what laws you pass, there will always be somebody who say that ain't enough or that's too much. But you just have you just got to make a decision sooner or later. I know one editor talked about the 15 miles an hour. We weren't even talking. We've talked about that. And some people, this is the part that I want people to know. So there was an editorial and included what the administration said, but nobody asked the council. How do you do an editorial based on, remember, I want folks to notice, and I'm going to keep saying it until they understand, I don't work for the administration. The council does not. It is an independent branch of government. The comptroller, independent branch of the city government. At the end of the day, if you do an editorial and you only talk to one of the branches of government, to me is skewed. Nobody called and asked. Nobody from any news outlet that did an editorial called the council president. Did they call you? You were the sponsor of the bill.
Sure didn't.
Didn't call you. So they have no idea the perspective of the lawmaker. So then when they say, well, the Common Council should stick to being legislative and not administrative, we don't want to be administrative, folks. Maybe you should have asked, because this was not something that we wanted to do. It was a compromise that was worked out. So don't make it seem like it was the council. No, it was a compromise. And I want to be clear, we didn't have to work the compromise. There was enough votes to simply overturn the veto.
Right.
And if we overturned it, there would be no exceptions for anything. It would have been 2 hours before, 2 hours after.
And people would not be as light in their pockets if they would have did it that way. Because at the end of the day, we talked about safety of children, and this is really about the safety of children when they are most vulnerable, and that's when they are arriving and when they depart. Now, those other things that happen, we're not going to ticket every single person at 11 o'clock, at 12 o'clock, when children are safe in the classroom. It's unconscionable. And to me, again, during this pandemic, for us to that veto be overturned and someone to say what our actions were insidious, which angered me to no end, because at the end of the day, we are responsible to the people of the city of Buffalo, and that's where our charge is. And so if the city of Buffalo and the residents are being harmed by a law, it's our responsibility to change it. And so that's what we did. But we shouldn't have been in that situation, because this should have been passed back in March, and that would have been it. But unfortunately, for almost 40 days, people were ticketed for the entire day. And some people, the one that's in my district, I can go back and forth, and I know that this is a law right now that we may have to tweak going down the road.
Right.
But people are still upset that, again, we have these cameras on streets where there is not a school. And I think Peter Reese did a video, a YouTube video that showed some of this stuff. And so, we got to be careful in how we do things, especially in the midst of this pandemic.
Right.
There's a lot of people hurting. A lot of people who are unemployed.
I'll just say this.
Have $50.
Right. This council has been very responsive to our public. And at the end of the day, I love Johnny come latelys who don't participate in anything, don't, and then at the end have so much to say what we should have done. At the end of the day, we voted for this, yes, but I was clear from the beginning that I only wanted it 2 hours before and 2 hours after. Yeah. I'm one vote. We voted on it, and it was the budgeted amount was what, 2.5 million?
Yes.
We've already made that if everybody pays their tickets. So don't tell me about us voting for this was budget, everybody. No. If it's to change behavior, every place that I drive, I have to be aware of the signals. And so also in that legislation, change where the signals are. That's all.
Yeah.
And I said it from the beginning because it was almost like you had to have either or. So you had people going, no, it ought to stay the same, and people going, no, it ought to all go away. And I said, were you there when I said it, Councilmember Wyatt? When I said it doesn't have to be either or. Let's work together. And I was told it had to be either or, but what was it? We worked together, got something done that at least for the temporary relieves people being ticketed. Now, I'm not going to say from all districts, but that council member, you got a problem with cameras being on all day at the school, you now go to that council member, you talk to that council member about it. So,
and I think that's fair because, again, we know our districts better than anybody, and I know that they say, there was a little comment that the council should stay out of administrative things. Well, we don't want to be in administrative things, but we do want to make sure that we balance out things to protect the residents who've elected us. But I'm going to make sure I do that because that's the number one thing that people want to see. You are our voice.
But think about this.
We need to make sure we speak up on
it. Right. Think about this. When the comment was the Common Council ought to stay in legislation out of administration, but they didn't say that when Chippewa was burning basically.
Yeah.
And I wrote the law that they had to, remember they were having the under 21 parties?
Yes.
And all the people in the street. And I wrote legislation that basically if a bar wanted to have what was called co-mingling event, that they had to come to the Common Council. Wasn't nothing about, they ought to stay in their place. And now that Chippewa now is back to quiet and all that, ain't nobody say Common Council stay in your place. Man, hug my neck. Hug my neck. Because it's only when it's convenient. But when the Common Council gets involved and makes sure now we ought to stay in our place, my place is wherever the hell I want to be. Because at the end of the day, as long as I got 5 votes and 6 votes, that's my place. That's my place.
That's it. And I just want to say this so that people know. The city needs money. Believe it. We need money. But the majority of the council members are not going to try to get dollars on the backs of people who are already hurting. That's not what we're going to do. And that's what I said. I'm not going to have people be penalized under the guise of a school zone camera. If it's for the school zone, it should be in the school zone, not on the main thoroughfare like Bailey Avenue or Delaware where people speed, unfortunately. I want to address the speeding, but I'm not going to address it as a disguise.
Right.
I'm going to address it appropriately. That people know. I wish we had speed cameras, but we don't. That's not been legislated for the city of Buffalo. I wish we had them, but again, I'm not trying to push something like that under the guise of these school zone cameras because even with the school zone, it's a short area.
Right.
It's not miles. It's a short area. So when you come out and say, we should have it because we're going to protect kids, you're protecting on a square block.
You got it.
It's not 5 blocks or 10 blocks. It's 1 block.
Hey,
so
council member.
Fix all the problems that we have with individuals who may get hit.
Right.
And I know that somebody brought it up about an individual being hit, but that was an adult.
Well, first of all, any talk about what about the adults walking past us? What are we going to do? We're going to put zone cameras all over the city of Buffalo because you cross on the red, and there are people that do get hit, unfortunately, and my heart goes out to them, and my heart goes out to their families. But these cameras were about students. Students. All right, listen, I got to let you go because I got a lot more of the show. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
What we got I can't see the Power to the People Facebook. Can you? Yeah. We got any comments? We want to I'll talk about I'm on a watch party on Darius Pridgen.
No comments. No comments on this. What do you got on the watch party?
On the watch party, Terry Wiley says, amen. I say the same think. Monique got a lot to say today. She just all in today. Shepherd Mother is all in.
Mother.
Carolyn Lane says, thank you, Councilmember Wyatt. Regina Taylor says, and guess what? I left the house today, if everybody notices, without my glasses. And I don't have on the new contacts that I've only worn once.
Bless them.
Was it because it takes so long for me to get them in? Was it stated that signs will be posted where the cameras are so we know? Yeah, they're already posted, Regina, but the legislation or the compromise moves them out further so that you don't get to a beacon right at the camera, because you still got to slow down. And if you're new to this city, you don't know where the cameras are. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know where the cameras are. I don't know. And I at the early part, I got a warning. I wasn't driving, but it doesn't matter. I'm still responsible for my car. But people drove up,
right?
And
yeah, when the 20,
it was too late.
When the 20 come online, I am.
Now I'm telling you,
I don't because I know.
First of all, exactly.
I finally got the 5 down.
We only have 5 right now, and when 20 are on, we may as well stop collecting taxes.
I'm trying to tell you.
So, and speaking of 20, I personally, and I've said it over and over, I do think 15 is too slow. I think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous to go from 30 to 15.
Like
but I think
30 on the 198.
Yes, I think right, exactly. I also think it's dangerous if you don't have enough time. More dangerous when you don't have enough time to slow down to 15. So again, the commentary to say it's too slow from people who could have called, who write articles. Did you call and even see? Then so you can know who to blame. Because I agree it's too slow. I don't like it. Mm-hmm. But some parts are part of the legislation that came out of the state of New York. I'm going to say this again so y'all know. We did not write the legislation. It's different governments. Come here, Tink Tink. Come here and learn, Tink Tink. Come here and learn. You have a state government. You have a county government. You have a city government. The state authorized this, and they put some things in place. I want it to be 20. I tried to negotiate for it to be 20. We're going to make a call. Now, we're not going to put the people on the air because we need their permission. But Mark can be on the air because he's aware. But I don't want to accuse somebody of something based on testimony that I did not personally get or don't personally know. As I said, the person wanted to remain anonymous, and I respect that. But I do think that this show, when we talk about power to the people, is about empowering the people. Make a decision. So we are, as soon as Mark comes on, he's going to turn his mic on, and you will hear his portion only of a conversation to the corporate office. What is it doing? It ain't ringing? I mean, what is it?
No, I'm in the automated service.
You're in an automated service right now?
Yep.
Do you have music?
No.
Like classical music? Okay. That's all you have, right? So we're going to call and check this out. If you just joined us on the show, we were informed that a local grocery store, although they have it on their door that you have to wear a mask. Oh, man. Oh, come on, corporate store. Come on.
Hi.
Okay, this is Mark.
My name is Mark, and I just have a question about general store policy. And during this pandemic, is there do your store have a mask policy for?
So Mark is on the phone right now with the corporate office, asking them whether they have a mask policy.
So you do require, but you don't. If someone is not wearing it, you'll make an offer for them to have a mask. But if they refuse, they can still shop in the store. That is true.
That is true.
Okay. Well, that's concerning. With the numbers going up. But just wanted to.
Does the general public know that?
Is that something made aware to the general public?
See, Mark is on the phone with the corporate office.
Okay, so so you're not forcing it for the protection of the employees not getting in fights in arguments.
So the reason they're saying they don't want their employees getting in fights.
Okay,
All right.
that's good to know. I just wanted, because we had a couple people, friends of ours that had concerns, so we just wanted to make sure that what the store policy was.
So Mark is on the phone with the corporate office.
Okay.
We have on purpose not put their voice on without their permission, in
Okay.
all fairness.
Thank you so much for the information.
But we now have confirmation.
All right, have a good one.
All right, Mark. So we could hear you, but give the people what they want.
So as I basically try to regurgitate, so they do it basically so that the workers aren't getting in arguments with customers, and as we've seen across the country, that there's some people that end up in fights over masks. So it is their policy to have a mask. They're just not going to, if someone refuses, they're just still going to let them shop.
So I know, like I said, Tops, they have, I don't know if they still have security at the doors.
Yeah, I don't know either.
They do. According to its top shopper, they still have it. So and I remember the union being upset, saying they wanted Tops to enforce it. So that was for their employees. And I got the fact that this store is trying to protect its employees, but you got to protect your employees' health also.
Yes.
You got to protect your employees' health. And if you don't want the employees to get into it, do what the other stores have done and put somebody at the door and somebody who can help enforce it. I don't want to see people get dragged out of grocery stores, but I do think that especially when one of the only essential services that we have are grocery stores, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is just for me, I'm not going. And I don't expect the stores to be able to 100% get everybody to do it, but I do expect them to protect the health of other people. Y'all heard it right here. Power to the people.
Ray, you going to Wegmans?
His mic. Put your mic up.
No Wegmans for me.
Yeah, Debbie Park said I've never seen security at Wegmans. Yeah, I don't think they. Well, we just heard. We called the corporate office. Let's be clear, right? Mm-hmm. You got the phone number so that people know we are not playing. That we call. What's the number you just dialed?
1-800-934-6267.
So I want you all to know I'm not picking on anybody. I am not. We are not saying they're right, they're wrong. I'm giving information to the people so that people can make a decision on where they go.
And he did say like that's not a public policy.
Yeah, but
so because he said they still advocate for everyone to come in the store with a mask.
Yeah, but here's where I'm really confused. Then why are we fining restaurants where people are not wearing masks, but we are not fining the grocery store?
Yeah.
There are more people in the grocery store than there are in restaurants. Come on, I'm lost here. I think we're gonna have to get a county executive. I'll give him a call offline. But I just don't understand why grocery stores then are exempt.
And I guess, and I saw somebody ask earlier, isn't the county exec and the governor's executive order still in effect for mandatory mask anyway?
I don't know. I'm confused. They're telling you that they don't enforce it, but where's the tickets? Free 99 hashtag iPad for Christmas. I don't know what that means, Shuki. Light Lovely Barlow says, I got a ticket from the same area. A lot of people got them tickets. I know somebody got 5 of them. They said they weren't going to pay it. I said, good luck. They ain't going to pay it.
Well, I'll read Shepherd Mother's last comment, even though she's here in studio now. She said, right, all of the young people employed, but Wegman, wait, hold on. Basically, you got all the young people working at Wegmans, and they go home to their families.
Yeah.
Protecting them.
If I were an employee, I'm telling you, I think I'm out. But it's easy to say. You got a family to feed. You got to do whatever. So I think that somewhere along the line that needs to be addressed. especially with us, with the numbers rising like they are, and during a holiday week, and then you got another holiday. It's just a lot of holidays coming up, a lot of people being out and about, a lot of people going to shop. I'm confused. So on my watch party, Carolyn Lane says it's still a mandate by New York State. We got to find out this answer for people by next Saturday.
I know there was one state that did not have a mask mandate. I want to say South Dakota, maybe.
And I don't think we have a total mask mandate where you have to have it on all the time outside or by yourself, all that kind of stuff. But I thought, I really did, that in the city, in these in stores, you had to have them on. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna get the answer. We're working on it for you. Who's protecting the elderly in the toilet paper aisle? That's what Debbie Parks. Is that mine? So you came up here for another Amazon order? Huh? It was the Amazon guy?
Yeah, he just knocked on the door. I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, how did he get in the subway?
I don't know, but I'm buying Amazon stock now. Wyatt got me in this Tesla stock right now, and it's too many new electric vehicles coming out. And remember how high Tesla was? And then it went down and all that. And when we looked last night, did I sell Tesla last night? No, what did I sell last night? I sold Southwest. So I had all this Southwest stock. I sold Southwest, although it went up yesterday. Oddly enough, it went up, but I put it up for sale today, and I'm going Amazon.
So Amazon is currently on the market for $3,122.
Maybe I'm not.
a share.
What was it? What was it last month?
Last month,
I should have did it before it got up.
it's actually down $100 from last
So it's
month.
down from last month?
Yes.
What's the yearly average? Now, folks, I'm putting this out there, not about my money. I'm putting it out there. When you get this money, when you got some money, but if you don't know how to do this, if you don't know how to trade, because you can trade small and just learn. You could trade because you've been trading. You could trade on Cash App, right? If you don't know how to do it, don't put your house up. Stick with mutual funds and other people who know how to invest money. This is kind of with Councilmember Wyatt and I about who thinks they know more about the market. And he's been doing well. I've been doing okay. And then I was doing horribly like last week. All my stuff was in the red. What do we have on
Hold on, I'm trying.
Amazon?
I'm trying to figure out how I can see the average on this one.
See the average. So wait a minute. What by NIO? What's NIO? Juki, you're not giving me enough now. What's NIO? Look up the code. So these are conversations we need to start having, man. We gotta have the real conversations about our money, about investments, about the future. I told you one of the safest investments is real estate right now. If you can start, what you got? Let's see. We got to start having these real conversations about our money. Amazon is among the world's highest grossing. With I don't have on my glasses with $281 billion. The reason I'm $3,000, Julie's.
Yeah, NIO just says it's a holding company.
I love
out
having
of China.
Out of China?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to do some research on it, Chuki. We do need, she says we need an investment club. I have tried to get so many people to do an investment club. If you look at some of the bigger projects in Buffalo, they're usually not financed by, and I don't mean on those levels, but people start small and they build up. They're usually financed, a lot of them, by groups of investors because they know they're going to get their money back or a portion. And years ago, people were talking about, we need investment club. Well, it's happening in some states. It is happening in some places where people are getting it and saying, I want to do more than just talk about, how to get money. I want to actually invest.
Now, I'll tell you.
Say what? The Chinese electric? Is that on the stock exchange? On the American Stock Exchange? Mm-hmm. Oh, see, that's a tip. That's what's called a tip.
Now, I'll tell you where everyone needs to get the Zoom. Zoom? The stock has gone crazy.
But Zoom goes down whenever you start talking about the pandemic being over. So those times when you talk about, because what happened was all of the indoor, like Roku was going up. Then when they made the news, announced that, got a vaccine, Roku started going down because the thought was people going back outside. But I don't see this changing anytime soon. And we have to have these conversations. I'm talking about it's time to take this thing in our lives to another level. I'm already there as far as having higher level conversations. I have these conversations with my children, my friends. We talk about stocks. We talk about now how do you trade on Cash App? You got to get to a mic. You can't. It's too hollow. What?
It's very simple. On Cash App, you just go to. It is like a squiggly line. And you just go to whatever you want to purchase.
And it'll purchase it, and then you know your position and how much.
Purchase any amount. I have a couple. I have Zoom.
So what did you? So how you're under 30, and you started doing stocks. Mm-hmm. So you got what have you bought?
I got Walmart, Apple, General Electric.
Why did you do GE?
Because my grandma told me to.
Is it making you any money?
Mm-hmm.
Well, GE is a stable stock. It's a pretty safe stock. It's
always
term. You're not gonna make a whole lot like that, but you're not gonna lose a lot either. Which stock did you buy that you made the most on?
I believe Tesla. Yes, Tesla. I invested $12 and I gained 16.
See, so some would say, "Oh, that ain't nothing," but that's my grandson. It's getting him to start learning,
and he has a long time.
But I didn't know how to do stocks, and of course we didn't have the internet and all that kind of stuff, so it was a lot different to do stocks. But once I started learning, I've been in ever since. But then there are like real money. I let somebody who knows what they're doing, a mutual fund, something like that, who this is what they're doing all day long. But I could be wasting it. I'm not. The same way you do on Robinhood.
That's the app I use.
You use Robinhood.
Yes. And
you invest. So when do you change your investment?
Hardly ever, because I normally just throw it in there. I buy something, and then only time I literally go back and check is when we're in the middle of one of these conversations.
And then you go back and check.
And then I'm looking, I'm like, this went up, this went down. Like, I got stuff on Watch. I got Zoom, Roku.
Remember, buy low, sell high.
Netflix, like all those I got on Watch just to see it.
To see what they're doing?
Yep.
Yeah, so when I looked last night and we made a little change, I was like, and next I'm getting rid of Tesla. I'm getting rid of Tesla because the Chinese market is coming up with electric cars. They have a car that's kind of like a Tesla, but it ain't a Tesla. Tesla still, to me, is number one.
Right. Well, I mean, and Tesla is still up $83 from last week.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hold on a little
hold
bit.
on a little while longer.
But that $3,000 for that Amazon, I ain't even gonna front. Anybody want to help? Anybody want to join on into this investment? You got $5 on it.
So that's the only reason why I like Robinhood, because you can buy partial shares.
Yeah.
So I literally own 4/1000ths of a share of Amazon stock.
What you made, $3?
Yeah, it's probably somewhere in there.
Yeah, but see, this is what a very wealthy man once told me. I was trying to buy this building. I tell this story all the time. A block away from here, factory. This is when nobody was messing with Northland Corridor and all that. So the church did have the cash to buy it. I'm mad at myself for so many missed opportunities. Man won $250,000. He ends up selling the friggin' thing for like $1 million or something. But anyway, later, right? Mm-hmm. So $250,000. I said we will purchase it outright. He said no, I want my money to drip in. I don't want it all up front. He knew the tax implications, all that. He said I'd rather for it to drip in and have multiple streams dripping in than to have a flood come in and then I don't have anything later.
Yeah, because that money come in, you got to get rid of it. Otherwise, that's a tax.
Well, or even, you know what happens a lot of times when you get big money, you stop. Some people spend it, and that's why I think these conversations as we get ready to close this show are so important, because they'll just be like, "Well, I got extra money. Okay, well now I'm going to get these sneakers, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get that." And I've tried to train my children. I've tried to train people at our church. I've tried to train the community. I need the sheet. Don't be mad at people who have something. They had to sacrifice something. I mean, you see these shoes? Can you see the shoes? You see these shoes?
Yep.
They look really expensive, don't they? I ordered these off the internet. These shoes were like $25. I'm just not wasting my money. So I do have a little bit for a rainy day. I invest. We gotta have this conversation.
Absolutely.
Because we're wasting too much money and spending too much money outside of our communities. Hobson's, the Dr. Dry Cleaner, speaking of in our community. 874 East Delavan. Even Sister Hobson and I had a talk about what people expect, that they think that this is they're making so much money. If they were making so much money, I don't think they would be in there working every day. Mm-hmm. They're making money and they're getting or creating a living that even their grandchildren benefits from. But they got to go to work. They ain't sitting at home calling the dry cleaner. They're there. Miss Hobson is there. I've seen her grandson there. 874 East Delavan. You got to start building wealth that goes on. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Home, 347 Peckham, 2528 Bailey, 1275 Sycamore. In your hour of need, ask the operator for Brian K. Lewis. His nieces are involved. Man, we better get this. We better get this before it's too late. We're in this together peer support group. I'll talk about that Sunday. Talk about it Sunday because True Bethel is going to be dealing with mental health. We got to do it now, especially with the holidays. Mental health is so important. Listen, I got to get ready to go. True Bethel, again, will be live on Sunday at 10 o'clock. All locations are closed to the public. I want you to stay safe. I'm not thrilled about this closing. I'm not thrilled about being in Orange. But some of this we can prevent. You have to, you got to let people know that everybody can't come to your house this year. And if you do, that's your personal thing. But then stay safe. I know some people is going to go in one ear and out the other. Mm-hmm. But at least try your best. Like tell people come in your house, you got to wear your mask. You got to wear your mask. But remember, when you sit down to eat, everybody takes it off. And all of that goes through the atmosphere. Stay alive. COVID is real. COVID kills. Until next week, power to the people. Stay right there, Facebook. I'm going to do my little after party. We off the stream?
And we're coming back to you.
All right. I want to thank you all for being on the watch party. Chuki still talking about Equity Circle of Investing on Facebook? What's that? Is that a Facebook page? Like, who is that? Light and Lovely Barlow says, no, thank you. I don't need any company. Jasmine, love you, senior servant. Love you too, Jazz. Like we just got, this is going to be one of the most different Thanksgivings. I haven't had a Thanksgiving like this since I was overseas. Because when I was overseas, it was just my family, my little family. My daughter born, and it was lonely. I'm gonna be honest, but I love being with my family on Thanksgiving. Any of you have been following me for years on Facebook, you know we get together and we have a ball. My little cousin, and I think Zoom is gonna crash because she's putting together where we all get on for 40 minutes and just share with one another and talk. I'm gonna get on for those 40 minutes.
Zoom also is waiving the 40-minute time limit.
Yeah, I only want to be on 40 minutes because you got to cook. And I'm not cooking anything this year, by the way. I'm only cooking the turkey. Monique is cooking everything else. I usually cook all the Thanksgiving meal. No, I don't. But I probably will stop by my parents' house. But wow. Somebody put up masket or casket. Wow, that's, ooh. And it's true though. Like,
well, and the other line that's running around is you can have what'd I say? It's something about You can have a COVID Thanksgiving and an ICU Christmas.
Wow. And that's we got to just say it like that. I mean, it's morbid, it's dark, but it's the truth. And, you know, I'm afraid. I'm afraid for so many people out there with underlying conditions. I'm still afraid for me because I don't know. We think this science is not complete on this thing. So we just got to do and be careful, everybody. So I won't see the Power to the People pack until next Saturday, if we are even on next Saturday. I got to make a decision because, you know, it's the holiday.
Maybe next Friday.
I mean, next Friday, or yeah, because it's I might not be in the mood. We might just play some Christmas music and do something like that. But I have to see how I feel. You know, when you get a couple of days off, you get Thursday, you don't be wanting to think about Friday. So
we could do a Zoom show. That way neither one of us have to leave.
Oh, gosh. I'm tired of Zoom shows, Zoom meetings, Zoom this, Zoom. And I can't stand WebEx. Carolyn Lane sing. All right, y'all, I'm going to get ready to go. I got to go find a turkey. I guess this is probably the earliest I bought a turkey, so it'll thaw out. Do we have a turkey in the freezer? Huh? They got unthawed at Tops? So I'm going to Tops anyway. I'm
Don't try to meet him there to
I'm
catch
going
him.
to Tops. Are you cooking, Pastor McKinney? You are cooking? You having a big party? Y'all should have saw the look when I said that. She was like, no. Free everywhere. What's free everywhere? When y'all be giving me these little lines, I don't know what you're talking about. I know this is a bit off subject, but could you please answer if you still have parking restrictions in the Fruit Belt? Which parking restrictions? There's still the permit parking. Yes. Yeah. There's still the permit parking, but I don't know if she's talking about like the opposite sides. Wasn't that suspended for right now?
Yes, it's suspended, I think, until next week.
Yeah, so the opposite side part is suspended, but the Fruit Belt resident parking is still in play, yes. And it's not off topic. I don't care. I'll answer anything you guys have. For me, as much as I love my family, I wanted to just stay home the last 5 years. Now having to be away from my family, it will make me now appreciate and in love on them more while they are still here. Yeah, Terry Wiley gonna say Snowy, which is their dog for anybody who doesn't know. Snowy is cooking for me and Lisa.
Hey, if you don't know, Terry Snowy got more insurance than most of us.
Yes, this dog has health insurance and all kinds of stuff. He gets to be in the house. Like, yes, Snowy is living. And whenever they do something, go to the park, they bring this Snowy. Don't forget. I ain't say that, Carolyn. I ain't saying what Carolyn just said. I ain't saying it. I'm not saying it. Hey, everybody, it's been great. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate your comments. It's important. It says my Wayfair was delivered. Did I just get a Wayfair delivery? All right. I got my Wayfair delivery. I've been ordering like a little crazy. Well, no, I've been good this week. But I ordered a new lamp for the house.
Oh, we got to get back to our Wayfair to finish this.
What, to finish this room?
Yeah.
I just ordered a bench.
I know I ain't got no room anymore.
Do you like benches at the kitchen table? Have you seen like where they put a bench? So we have chairs at the kitchen table, but I was ordering a whole set, and then everything got delayed coming in and shipped in. So I just ordered a bench so I can get rid of the two chairs because I like how that looks. So that's what's in the Wayfair order. Is a bench. I got hearts up. Y'all like those benches? I like those benches. So I just redid Monique's closet, and she has a walk-in closet, and I wanted so I surprised her, and I found, like, we were shopping one day, and I was like, you like these lamps? And they were like real chandelier-y, really. And she was like, oh. So I knew, because I was going to put in this chandelier, there's all these. She was like, oh. So I was like, okay, that didn't work. But I still wanted kind of chandelier. So I found what's called a gypsy lamp. And it is the ugliest lamp in the world. but it has different color crystals. It has all that kind of stuff. So I'm rushing to get this lamp up before she gets home, right? And I get everything tied up. And, you know, my house was built 100 years ago. So everything in it for wine is old. I go and I put up new blinds, and I go to put the blind in, and I think I hit a electric because all the power goes out. But it was the storm. So now I'm in the closet in the dark. I'm trying to get this done before she gets home. And but I think she was like, oh, so when she saw, I was like, I'm just gonna warn you, it's the ugliest lamp in the world, but it is so much our kind of flavor. Like, we don't really fit into much. We don't try to fit in. Yeah, so she has this gypsy lamp. I put in new shelves. And then, speaking of organization, then I made the kids reorganize their stuff. And my oldest son, so we threw out a whole lot of, took their clothes for the pantry. That's too small. And then yesterday, so I told one of them, the youngest one, I didn't realize, like I said, do you know how to hang up your pants? I want your pants hung on hangers. He came down, he was like, yeah. I said, show me. He opened up the pants, tried to put them on the pants. It was so cute. So we taught them how to do all that stuff. Jamie takes it another step. And he comes downstairs last night, and he says, hey, Mom, he really, really wanted me to see it, but hey, Mom, come see my closet. When we went up there, honestly, it was better than my closet. He took his sneakers and laid them flat where one goes in like this and stacked and had all his clothes. I showed them how to military fold their clothes, and now they're getting into it. But this is part of, I think, the benefits, if you could say, of COVID, is we're home. And that's why, I announced so many things that I'm stepping down from, is because I recognize, like, you taking care of so many other people, and many who don't give a dang on. Can you say bad words on Facebook? Yeah. Oh, okay.
All them fights that be streaming.
Okay. Many who don't give a dag on what you do, and then you ain't taking, like, your boys need you right now. And my grandkids need me, and there are certain things that I learned from my grandparents and my mom and my dad that I want to make sure they know. I want neat boys. I don't want boys that don't know how to fold, that don't know how to wash dishes, that don't know how to cook, that their life is just nasty. And it clicked, like, so much is clicking. I'm in such a good space in life because it clicked. I've been tired every day. I come home and collapse, and they were getting nothing. Like, we've been working out, going down the basement, and then yesterday I didn't work out, but they did. They took it upon themselves to go in that basement, to get on the treadmill, to lift, to do all that, and that wasn't happening. And that peace that I have right now of just being able to say, I'm going home. I'm getting on the FaceTime with my grandkids. I don't want to die, and gave everything up and ain't have nothing, and just go miserably down. No. Jasmine says, I applaud your decision. Bernadette Washington, come on and teach. That's right, Bernadette. You can't do that. Because, man, these people out here, no matter what you do, some of them just go, dog, I don't give a daggone. I care about me. Melody gonna say, yes, you can, bad words. I was talking to Shep the other day, the pastor, and he said something. He said, well, Reverend, he said, I don't want to say nothing because I've been delivered. I've been delivered from cussing. I said, well, that's good because I haven't. I said, I'm 56, Shep. I say whatever I feel like. Boy, my Pentecostal friends, I flip it around right now.
No, they not.
They not.
Let me listen.
You Pentecostal. You listen, a Pentecostal.
I'm Pentecostal through and through.
Yes.
We cuss.
Y'all cuss.
The problem is everybody got to put the front on like we don't.
Oh, yeah. The only mask I wear at 56 and have lived through COVID and watched my children and some of my grandchildren go through COVID, the only mask I wear is this one right here. That's the only mask I wear. If you don't like it, hug my neck. If you don't like me, that's your choice. If you don't like how I act, you ain't got to be around me. No, you ain't got to be around me. You ain't gotta be around me. Melody gonna say yes, Mark, with exclamation point. I ain't got nothing to say. I have nothing to say. I'm being delivered. Y'all pray. I don't really, but
because I'll say listen. I'll indict myself. I'm Baptist Costal now, so it's not the Baptist folk that's just running around having babies out of wedlock.
Okay, we ain't going there. We ain't going.
The Pentecostal folk just as bad. Like,
Jen Woodard says, I'm going to miss all my family over. We have a good time. Still put the Christmas decorations up. Yeah, Jen be having like armies at her house. Jen, don't count. Oh, all right, now you can talk to him online, honey. Jasmine, me either. I'm a sailorette, and I could. I'm not encouraging. No. I was only kidding. But just in case a tape surface of me cussing you, he told us, child, he ain't lying.
got a disclaimer.
Now I ain't gonna lie though. Y'all know when I lose it a little bit. Oh, okay, this is when I lose it a little bit. Driving. And because people be driving so crazy, and they like sometimes. Come on. The other day I had on gospel. I was in the car with gospel, and they just drive crazy, and I had to repent.
So between Albertina and Dorothy, he's like one.
Not Albertina. I'll tell you that story another day.
Oh, all right.
The gospel legend. No.
Nah, I got
No.
I got some.
I don't care. No.
I got some Albertina and Dorothy stories too. So.
No. No. I'm 56. No. I watch. You know what I love to listen to? On my Pandora, I have choir gospel. I like choir stuff. Now I was listening to a station called Jesus Station the other day because I was looking for the football game. And so I was scanning, and it was like brothers, like young brothers on. I don't know if they out of New York, sound like a New York accent. So they had a type of music that I'm lost at, but I respect. I love though gospel choirs. I'm not the quartet person, but I love gospel choirs. So I also, do you watch YouTube? Any of y'all get in YouTube loops?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite YouTuber that you watch? Like on anything. So I got a few of them. But they're hilarious. I'm talking about funny things. Like I like to.
Mine would be Big Ja.
I watch Big Ja, and then I watch some people who were attached to Big Ja.
Yes.
Yeah.
His whole crew. And then I do, of course, the All Def Digital, the whole Kev on Stage, all of them.
Oh, I didn't know it was a whole little network.
Yeah, there's a whole crew.
Kev on Stage is hilarious.
Yeah, so those would probably be my funnier ones that I watch.
Do you watch Funny Church Videos? It's called Funny Church Videos, and they're real. They're like in.
So I follow Church Funny and Church of Laugh on social media.
Okay, so I don't know which one I'm watching, but like True Bethel has been on it. Several churches have been on it, yes. And sometimes you just gotta laugh at yourself. Don't be so serious. Like people have gotten offended. Like oh, they put our church. Like so what? I mean, we've been on several times. Remember Dominique's little boy? That was viral. It's too loud in here. It's too loud in here. So we were on several times. Mm-hmm. Several churches have been on. But the point is, I follow when I get on YouTube. I don't want to see no people in the neighborhood fighting. Mm-hmm. I really don't. I think that's stupid, and I think it's irresponsible for adults to put it out there. I want to laugh, and I'm at a point right now. I'm laughing more than I have in a very long time. Last night, let me tell y'all this. What happened last night here. So I did Bible study live from here, and then I had to do another TV show from here. And so the praise team was in the sanctuary rehearsing. I have a cordless mic. So I called the audio engineer, Terry, on his cell phone. And now they're rehearsing, right? And I said, turn my mic on. So they're rehearsing, and I waited. And then when they got real quiet, I said, ah!
That was you? So I'm in the studio, and I keep hearing, I'm like, who is in the mic doing that?
oh goodness, oh goodness. So they looking around, they keep saying, who is that? So I waited again, and then I said, ah! And they was like, is that somebody talking about how we sing it? I was in the back hallway cracking up. It was the funniest thing in the world. You were on the Zoom, right? And then I think Jan was in the building. Jan was like, who is that? What is going on? I just kept hollering, and they did not know. And I was going to, and this probably wouldn't have been funny. It might not have ended well. I was going to bring up bullet sound on my gun, on my phone, and go, but I realized this. Almost the entire band has gun licenses now. Did you know almost the entire band carries?
Yes.
So I was like, nah, that ain't gonna be funny.
And trust me, we're at Eastside Church. You can't be doing it.
And second of all, they knew gun owners. You know, they might be trigger happy. So I'm like, nah, I don't think. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you imagine though the whole band hitting the deck, like and pulling like what? All right, everybody.
Yeah, no,
I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Oh, that was funny.